Welcome back, rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. And today we're going to be looking at the 4 newest additions to Clint City. Whenever you're trying to find out who the newest additions are, the best thing that you can do is go over here, click on Game, scroll down to New Characters, and then after clicking on that, it's going to take you to a page with all of the most recent characters that have come to Clint City. But right here at the top, you'll be able to see the forum post that welcomes them to the game. You can click here if you want to go to the shop in order to try and buy them from new bud packs, and then you can see the 4 cards, the latest 4, right here. So this week we're going to be taking a look at Tenac, Ethane, Meow, and PR Priest. As fair warning, this video is also one of my entries for the YouTube contest, which is why that I've split it from the normal review and pack opening into 2 different videos, since the sections are in different categories for the YouTube event. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in. I also have to use the site, so we will not be going to Curlad this week like normal, so we'll go ahead and just take a look at them here on the website. Up first is Tenac, a 5/3 uncommon 2-star FPC with an ability of -2 op power and damage, min 1. This panda does what pandas do best, sit there and eat. This card's good points are that it has an extremely low minimum of 1, allowing for maximum DR. And speaking of DR, the only other 2-star DR in FPC is City, making Tenac the clan's only 2-star card with actual damage reduction. His ability also hits both power and damage, which is great, and he packs a potential 5 damage for a 2-star card, which is absolutely crazy. However, it's still ultimately a virtual unassisted 7 power. He won't do much to force pills, and his niche is really being the only damage reducer with a potential 5 damage, allowing for potential 2-hit KOs all over the place in a damage clan like FPC. This makes him an ideal tourney card. However, I might stay away from him in EFC as he doesn't seem very reliable, and even with a little attack manipulation, it's going to put him in a very bad position. While he's an interesting card, I don't see him as being a staple. However, FPC doesn't really have any amazing 2-star cards that are a lock for the best, aside from Marlesia CR. Still, I would personally rate him as tied for 3rd best after Marlesia CR and City, and tied with Chan, depending on what you want from your 2-star card. And most of those are because of their stability. Marlesia CR should be obvious as to why, but I rate City higher because while she does 1 less damage, she is more stable versus SOA, and fares better versus attack manipulation, one of the biggest issues for FPC players already. That said, he provides more damage than Chan and more defensive value at the cost of not being able to win a round as easily. With Marlesia CR being out of most players' price range, Tenac would see play if more people actually played FPC, since most people tend to choose La Junta anyway. As a final result, his price probably will not skyrocket, so there's no real hurry to pick up this card. However, I definitely recommend picking one up for use after his price drops. Up next is Ethane, a 7/5 rare 4-star La Junta with the ability of -5 op damage, min 2. This Master Infiltrator is hoping to reveal many of Geist's secrets. A 7/7 4-star with 5 DR is absolutely fantastic. Min of 2 isn't a 1, but it's more than forgivable for these stats on a 4-star card. The crazy 7 damage is an amazing threat that will force your opponent to pill to make sure you don't just sneak 7 damage in too. She's also La Junta's only truly defensive 4-star card right now. Without attack manipulation, however, she won't automatically force pills just by ulding. Unassisted 7 power cards are, well, they're a dime a dozen. Aside from this one major flaw though, this card is otherwise basically perfect. I guess we could also mention that it's only a min of 2, but no complaints at all for a card otherwise. Now, La Junta has always had good 4-star cards, but nothing really to write home about. Brian, Brianna, and Gatlin are all excellent cards, but all have the same amount of damage, and 2 have the same amount of power as Ethane. Isadis is amazing, but she's truly a glass cannon, with much less stability and requires a mono deck. I mean, I don't mean to downplay Isadis at all, but let's be honest here. When a common, unstable card is potentially your clan's best 4-starred, something is probably lacking, and you should desire better. That said, Ethane is not a guaranteed staple. She only works because her entire clan is full of nukes, so 4-star DR is not suicide in a clan like La Junta. However, you will almost always prefer to have a 4-star card that can win and do damage. You might think Ethane would shine more in T2 formats then, but in T2 you're going to be facing 9 and 10 power cards, tons of SOA, lots of attack manipulation, and cards like Ymira. She may help La Junta with T2 missions, but otherwise, she's actually probably better off in T1, despite the fact that means that her DR may not be used to its full potential. So she falls into this hazy area between T1 and T2, which is why I don't see her as a sure staple. She's a fantastic card, no doubt, just not able to reach her full potential in either format. I don't see her price skyrocketing, but her price will likely remain higher since her stats are so high all around. This card is one that could skyrocket one day if the right supporting cards are ever released. So, if you like to bet, this is one card you could try betting on. Still, I would recommend being realistic and not hoping or counting on too much. Next up, we have Meow, a 7/6 common 5-star pussycat with an ability of attack +9. This thief has been taken in and given asylum by the PC clan. Let me just be honest here, I don't really get this card at all. The artwork is amazing, but doesn't Pussycats already have Emma? I mean, I get that Emma is courage-based, but it's the same stats. Are you really saying that removing a condition only drops 3 attack? So if I made something conditional, I would only get +3 attack for it? I mean, I could go through all this stuff I do for all the cards like normal, but Meow is basically just an updated Emma at best, and to be honest, I never really liked Emma. Yes, PC needs attack manipulation, but not this kind of attack manipulation. This card was a real letdown for me this week, honestly. But, I mean, I guess she's good for newer players, and of course, non-conditional cards are better, since there are many Pussycats cards that do have conditions that you may wish to have in your deck over someone like Emma, and so Meow would be a good substitute for that. Overall, I would not expect her price to go up very much at all, and this is a card that will probably be relegated just to beginner decks and people who are learning the PC clan. Finally, we have PR Priest, an 8/7 uncommon 5-star Riots with an ability of copy op bonus. This card is meant to be like Pandora and the other cards that were permabanned from the start from their clan in competitive formats, and we can clearly see why, I think. I mean, ultimately, he's really not much different from, say, B-Boy or Locke. He's basically a bit worse than B-Boy and a bit better than Locke. I guess the difference is that he's uncommon instead of rare, but I mean, he is still weak to DR and attack manipulation. With 8 power, he'll have no issue getting over attack manipulation clan's bonuses, but he's still gonna need a few pills. His bonus will give him 1 back, of course, virtually starting him at +8, and then he copies his opponent's bonus. So this makes him extremely stable and gives him almost perfect stats at 8/7. He's not conditional either, and is good on all 4 rounds. I get why he's a strong card, and he's already been banned. But I'm unsure that the ban was justified, honestly, unless it's merely my brief time away, and some other powerhouse cards were recently added to Riots that make him OP. I mean, either way, though, this is an amazing 5-star card. But Riots already has a lot of amazing 5-star cards. I mean, I suppose he takes the cake for stability, though, that's for sure, and he holds up fine versus SOA, 2 very valuable points that would cause you to choose him over the other 5 stars in the Riots clan. Just make sure to get a hold of him in packs before he leaves, or you will definitely regret it, because if he becomes a fan favorite, his price will just continue to rise more and more. So, what do you think? This concludes the 4 newest cards to come to Clint City: Tenac, Ethane, Meow, and PR Priest. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you really liked it, make sure to share it with your friends. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you've been in the zone.